There are truths about women that are never spoken out loud. They're too raw, too politically incorrect, too dangerous. Most men never learn them. And if they do, it's often too late. They've already been burned, betrayed, or used. But there's a framework, a lens, through which these truths become clear. A cold, ruthless lens. The lens of Niccolò Machiavelli. Machiavelli was not just a political philosopher. He was a student of human nature. He saw through masks. He understood people not as we wish them to be, but as they truly are. He peeled back the layers of idealism and exposed the power games, the emotional strategies, and the brutal realities of relationships. This video isn't about bitterness. It's about clarity. This is about power, strategy, and survival in the emotional battlefield of life and love. So here it is, the 5 forbidden truths about women that most men never learn, according to Machiavelli. Truth 1. Women are loyal to their emotions, not to logic or history. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are driven by 2 principal impulses, either by love or by fear." Women, too, are not immune to impulse, but their loyalty often lies not in consistency, but in how they feel right now. Many men get confused when a woman seems deeply in love, makes promises, says forever, and then changes. Abruptly, it's not that she was lying. It's that she was speaking truthfully in that moment. But that moment passed. Women are not bound to reason or loyalty the way men imagine. They are loyal to their feelings. If her emotions shift, her allegiance shifts. This isn't evil. It's survival. Women, evolutionarily, needed to align with the strongest emotional opportunity, the most secure protector, the most exciting source of genes, the most capable leader. What does this mean for you? Never rely solely on what a woman said or felt yesterday. Maintain the emotional frame. Keep the mystery. Stay in control of your presence. She doesn't want a man who needs her. She wants a man she can choose again and again, because he remains emotionally dominant. Truth 2. Attraction is not about goodness. It's about power. Machiavelli was clear. It is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both. Now, don't misunderstand this as a call to cruelty. What this means is that love based solely on kindness, approval, and compliance is weak. It invites disrespect. Nice guys think being good earns love, that being agreeable, generous, and endlessly available makes them more attractive. But Machiavelli would say that goodness without strength is useless. Worse, it's invisible. Women are drawn to men who command their space, who walk with certainty, who aren't easily influenced, who show discipline, assertiveness, and yes, controlled danger. She might sleep with a nice guy out of guilt or settle with him for comfort, but she'll dream about the one who owns himself, who walks into a room and alters the energy, the man who needs nothing but is wanted by many. Truth 3. Women test men not to hurt them, but to reveal them. This is where most men fail. They get angry, reactive, or insecure when a woman pushes their boundaries, when she gets moody, cold, distant, or sarcastic. But Machiavellian wisdom reminds us, every act is strategic. Women test because they need to see what you're made of. Not what you say, but what you're under pressure. Will you beg for validation? Will you lose your center? Or will you hold your ground, smile with quiet strength, and never chase what removes itself? A woman's tests are not always conscious, but they are necessary. She is wired to test, to verify, because her biology seeks strength. She needs to know you're not just words, that you won't fold when challenged. Machiavelli would say, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." In other words, do not expect her behavior to follow linear logic. Her tests are fluid. and you must be the unshakable constant. Truth 4. Women desire men who are desired by other women. Social proof is real. Machiavelli understood this in politics. A prince must be seen as favored to remain favored. Power begets power. In the domain of attraction, women are deeply attuned to signals of status. And nothing signals desirability more than being desired. A man who is wanted becomes wanted even more. This is not about cheating or being a player. It's about aura, presence, lifestyle. Women want to compete for a man who is not easily attainable. If you live like a man of high value, busy, purposeful, admired, you radiate power. You are not waiting around. You are not needy. You are not desperate. Your time is a luxury. Your attention is a reward. This alone flips the dynamic. Women chase what they fear losing, not what is always available. Truth 5. Love is a game of leverage, and men who forget this lose. Let's be brutally honest. Relationships are not 50-50. They never were. They are imbalanced and constantly shifting. Machiavelli taught that the one with more leverage controls the outcome. In love, the person who is less attached holds the power. This doesn't mean you don't feel, but it means your identity, your mission, your center remain intact. Most men lose themselves in love. They pedestal the woman. They orbit her. They collapse their boundaries. They trade their mission for her attention. But a woman does not want to be your purpose. She wants to join a man who already has one. She wants to be swept into a story, not be the story. When you keep your center, she follows your lead. When you lose it, she looks elsewhere. Machiavelli knew that control is not seized by force alone. It is maintained by perception. If she senses you are obsessed, overly invested, or emotionally dependent, the spell is broken. So you must always remember, love is powerful, but leverage is what sustains desire. Never surrender your edge. Final words. These 5 forbidden truths are not bitter. They're liberating. Most men are told lies about women. That if you just love her enough, please her enough, and sacrifice enough, she will stay. But nature doesn't reward the weak. It rewards the strategic, the composed, the powerful. Machiavelli's lens may seem cold, but it reveals the truth. And in truth, there is freedom. You stop chasing illusions. You stop being played. And you start playing the game like a man who knows the rules. Women don't want perfect. They want presence. They don't crave endless approval. They crave strength. They don't seek to control you. They want to know they can't. So become that man. Not through manipulation, but through mastery. Not through pretending, but through presence. Not through fear, but through unshakable inner power. Because in the end, it's not about her. It's about who you become. Welcome to the Machiavelli Guide.